Hello, hello, welcome on in, welcome into your workout today. So today's workout is an A workout of the ABCs of fitness, and the A workout means it's arms and upper body strength today. So in terms of equipment today, what you need are some dumbbells. By all means, if you have a couple of options of different weight dumbbells, grab out your options, slightly lighter ones, slightly heavier ones, and then you can adjust accordingly depending on how you're finding the exercise. Please know that you can always use something like tin cans or 500 milliliter water bottles, something like that from the household could always work as well. And then something to use as your fitness step. So it could be that you have a fitness step. It could always be the side of a coffee table, the side of a sturdy footstool, the side of a sofa. Something like that today would work perfectly. And then just some water to sip as and when you need throughout the workout. There are some inbuilt water breaks throughout the workout structure. So arms and upper body strength today with a focus today on push-based muscles of the front of body. So we've got some pectorals, some fronts of shoulders, and some arms that we're working on today. Okay, hop on back to your mat. Let's get started. We're going to start today with some nice big shoulder circles. All we're doing here is loosening through the shoulder joint, warming up, waking up, blowing away the cobwebs. Nice big shoulder circles backwards there, 4 or 5 of them, and then bring it in the other direction. Drawing these shoulder circles forward with a spread of the shoulder blades as you go. Okay, onwards we move into a slightly bigger movement pattern. We have our arm circles, and again we do want these to be controlled. They're called CARs, or controlled articular rotations around the joint. So we want to trace the biggest range of motion that we can access in the ball and socket joint of the shoulder with control. Lovely. Switch direction. Over the top you come here, tracing the biggest circle that you can access through that shoulder joint. A little spread of the shoulder blades as you come down and over the front to warm up and wake up around the scapula as well. Lovely job. Brilliant. Onwards we go. We're going to do a nice circle, starting in a deep squat and circling around to the top. Lovely. So getting the whole body, warming up and waking up here. And yes, it's an upper body workout, but here we are just incorporating the whole body, the legs as well, the lower body as well, into some of our warm-up exercises, just to get the body feeling warm through and through. Fabulous. Last couple here, circling those arms, circling those shoulders. Fantastic. Keep the squat going. We're going to take a rotation, a squat and a twist, or a squat and rotate. So broad chest in that squat, broad chest, heart faces the front, nice broad shoulders, and then twisting, pivoting, rotating. So reaching with the fingertips, getting a little bit of a stretch perhaps behind the shoulder blade as you really reach with the shoulder across to the side here. Well done. Keep the squat going. On the next one, take a side bend like so. So squat and side bend. Nice. Again, the idea of broad chest or broad shoulders as you squat. Bottom sits back as if you are sitting on a sofa behind you. And then we're seeking a nice stretch in the side seam of the body, opening out around the underarm area and relax in the outer back. Lovely. One more here. Fantastic. We're going to come and push like so next. Push forward as if you've got something heavy, like an item of furniture that you're trying to push away from you. Something like that. Pushing forward. I'll show you side on. So the elbows come wide. The elbows, maybe they come slightly behind the level of your body and you push forward. Activating the muscles of the front of shoulder, pectorals in the chest and the arms as you do this. Pushing forward and coming together with the hands. And in your chest muscles here, as if the pectoral muscles are clenching toward the midline of the chest as you do this. Well done. Last couple here. Fantastic. And recover. Giving that a shake through. Fabulous. So we are going to get started now with our first circuit of exercises. So we need to hear what you're going to use as your fitness step. So just pop my fitness step out, side on to you here, to the view that you get. Okay. And we want our dumbbells at the ready. Depending on what you're using as your fitness step, If it's something hard, like the side of a coffee table, you could always come to put your mat sort of over the side of it like so, to give you a bit of cushioning under your back. Okay, so we have 3 circuits of exercises to get through. The first 2 circuits we're trying to do 3 times through, and the final circuit we're going to try and do twice through. Our countdown timer will count us through the exercises, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds rest. Don't be tempted to rush. We want good muscular connection as we work. We're starting with a chest press. Alongside the step, this could always be done from the floor with your back on the floor if you need to. So we're coming to the side of the step, hips up. Both arms at the top, then one arm descends, drives back up, the other arm descends, drives back up. So it's an alternating chest press from the top. Core muscles zipped in, zipping up from pubic bone to belly button. Glute muscles should feel like they are squeezing, they're contracting, they're providing support for the pelvis and hips. Legs should feel active. As you descend down with the dumbbell, you're trying not to rotate your body. You're trying to keep your pelvis, your hip bones and your chest, your rib cage square to the ceiling. Down with control, drive with purpose, keeping your dumbbells above the mid-chest at the top. Nearly there, there's one. Rest. Superb, and then gently down you come with your hips. Same setup shape, and again this could be on the floor if this shape doesn't work for you. We're coming up again, head is supported, elbows are narrow against the waist. Let's go. From there it's a straight up with your dumbbells. So here we have your palms of your hands facing each other. Your elbows sort of brushing your waist or brushing your t-shirt as you lower and press with the weights. All the while, again, core is working, tummy muscles are anchored in, glutes are working, so bum cheeks should feel like they are squeezing strongly, and the concept of having your tailbone tucked under. Elbows narrow to the waist, driving strongly upward with your dumbbells. Good, and then sort of almost like down and forward with your dumbbell shape as you descend. Push with purpose each time. Rest. Gently does it, hips to the ground. Fabulous. And onwards from there, we have our tricep dips on the end. So, fingers wrap around the edge of your step, broad chest, shoulders, flat spine or tall spine. Bend at the elbow, push tall. The further forward your feet are, the tougher the exercise will be. More knee bend with your feet closer to the step will make the exercise easier. If your wrists do not like this at all, then your option is this exercise, an overhead tricep extension. So if you don't like tricep dip, if it doesn't work for you, for your wrist, for your body, that is your option. If you're with me, we're here. Lower with control, push with purpose. At the top of the tricep dip, a squeeze of your back of arm muscle. And I specify the muscle because we don't want to feel like we're clanking at the elbow joint. We want a muscular squeeze, not a clank at the joint. Keep the chest broad, keep the tummy muscles zipped up. And then gently down you come. A wriggle of wrists, a shake out of the arms, and we make our way back to the start of that trio of exercises. This could of course be done from the floor if you need it to be. So you could be lying with your back along the floor if this setup doesn't work for you and the sort of equipment or furniture that you're using. So here we are, back to our alternating chest press from the top. Lower with control, drive with purpose. Your elbows can either tap the side of your step, what you're using as your step, or they could come slightly down and forward of the side of your step. As you lower the weight, you're trying to keep your rib cage or hip bones square to the ceiling so that your core and your glutes are supporting you in an anti-rotational way, i.e. you're trying not to twist the body. Nearly there. Brilliant. Gently down for a second. Maybe there's a wriggle of wrist there, a shake out of the shoulders. Same shape, but the narrow press, the elbows pinning to the waist. So again, up we go. Option is of course to do this from the floor, where your elbows will just tap the floor, either side of your hips, your waist, and then push directly upward. If you're with me at the side of your, it could be your sofa, your side of your coffee table, The elbows just descend just beneath the level of your waist. At the base of the move, we don't switch off the work in the arms, fronts of shoulders. We want to keep the muscular tension in those areas. We don't switch off the muscular tension at the base of the move. Just check in at this point. Both glutes are working.
10 seconds.
Tailbone is slightly tucked under, and you feel like you have anchored inward your deep abdominal muscles. Nice job there.
Rest.
Gently down. Fabulous. So as we go through the various rounds, just reiterating, please take it at your pace. It could be a different pace to me, and that's fine. It could be slightly faster, slightly slower. Broad chest here.
Let's go.
Tummy muscles engaged. Your bottom or your hips are just off the front of your step. So we want to be careful here. Your bottom doesn't do this and scoop too far forward. We want to have the idea of a broad chest or an open chest or open shoulders. So again, have a look here. We want to avoid hunching and rounding in the upper back and shoulders. Bend at the elbow, extend at the elbow.
Halfway
Bend
there.
at the elbow, extend at the elbow. At the top of the move, when you push to the top, a squeeze of your back of arm muscle. Again, not a clank at the joint. Please know that the option is there. If tricep dips don't work for you, this is your option to take. It might just be kinder on the wrists. It depends on you and your body. Fabulous.
Rest.
And recover. So your option is tricep dips. If I'm ever showing an alternative, you just keep going with the move that works for you. So it could be the tricep dips, it could be those tricep overhead extensions. We find our way back to the start for the final round. Okay, so it's both dumbbells in hand, up to your hip thrust hold shape. Both dumbbells are at the top, lower with control, push with purpose. One side then the other. So it's these chest presses from the top. You want to keep your dumbbells above your chest. So just check as you lower and push that they don't creep over your neck or your chin or your face. Keep those dumbbells above your chest. As you push upward, have a sensation of firing up your pectoral, your chest muscle in that side of the chest, as if to squeeze your chest muscle to the midline of the chest. Nearly there. Brilliant. Gently down, hips to the ground for a second. So again, maybe there's a shake out of the arms, a wriggle of the wrists here. We set ourselves back up into the same shape and we have our narrow press. At any point if this gets too heavy, you can always hold one dumbbell in both hands. One hand at either end of the dumbbell, and you could be pressing up above the body, one dumbbell rather than two dumbbells. If obviously you're still okay and feeling strong for two dumbbells, then two dumbbells, one in each hand. So here what we're getting at is this idea of having narrow elbows. Elbows sweeping the waist or brushing past your t-shirt.
Halfway there.
Knuckles to the ceiling, so just careful that your wrist joint doesn't L shape. We want to have those knuckles driving to, like a punch, kind of strongly to the ceiling. Core secure, zip up from pubic bone to belly button. Squeeze your glutes to provide support under the hips. Nearly there, this move.
Rest.
Gently down. Lovely. And so finally in our first circuit, we have our tricep dips on the end. So hopping your way up to the edge of your step. Big spread fingers. Use all those finger pads. Broad open chest. Here we go. So we bend at the elbow, straighten at the elbow. If you find that actually getting elbows to bend and straighten is tough, and you find yourself rounding your shoulders, just bring your feet closer into your step so that you can have a slightly more vertical spine, and maybe you'll be less likely to round in the shoulders or upper back.
Halfway there.
Further away with the feet makes it harder. Closer with the feet makes it easier, and you could physically push through your feet to help elevate your hips if the arms fatigue toward the end. Almost there. Remember your option if you're on that tricep overhead extension, that is your option. Here are those last beats.
Rest.
And you're through. First circuit, done, ticked off the list. Don't have to go back there. On the next countdown timer on our clock, it's just a water break, it's just a rest period. So ignore this countdown here.
Let's go.
We are not going anywhere. For us, maybe there's a wriggle out of wrists, a shake through of the arms and shoulders, and just a chance to take on board some water. little sips of water throughout the workout today. Well done.
Halfway there.
Okay. So continue to rest here. Give the arms a shake through, perhaps to drain some of the lactic acid. Give the wrists a wriggle, a little mobilize if you feel that they want to have some movement in them. I'll take you through what's coming up next. We're going for press up toward our box. That could absolutely be on knees. You could choose to do that press up towards a higher surface, such as dining table or kitchen sideboard, to help you practice a full plank press up, as in on the toes. Okay, here we go.
Let's go.
So, peeling onto your toes, tuck your tailbone under, zip up or anchor up the abs that are south of your belly button. Lower with control, lowering all the way down to the deepest range of motion that you can access in your press up. With the trajectory of your press up, mid-chest to the invisible line between your thumbs.
Halfway there.
Hands should be just wider than shoulder width, give or take. And spread your fingers and then claw at the box or at the step with all your finger
10
pads.
seconds.
Good. Try and keep your hips just hovered above the level of your belly button and draw your core up as you push up. Well done.
Rest.
Good. So our press up is a moving plank and we want to get the core work within that exercise. So we're flipping our way round to be with our back against the step again, the same setup as the circuit before.
Let's go.
It could be 2 dumbbells, one in each hand. It could be 1 dumbbell held with both hands. We're extending the arms overhead for a bit of a stretch around the sides here. The sides of the body, just underneath the underarm area. We're extending overhead. Now, if you are at the side of a coffee table or at the side of your sofa, I know that the dumbbells might not go so far back. You could be doing this on the floor, or you could just simply take this as far back as you're able to with the equipment that you have. In an ideal world, you use a fitness step like this, you're able to get like behind the step with your dumbbells.
Rest.
But doing what you can with the equipment you have is the best thing. So do not worry if that felt like you couldn't get too far back because the dumbbell touched the floor behind you or the furniture behind you. Okay, we come back up to that shape.
Let's go.
So we're into the heels, up with the hips, head is supported, dumbbells above the mid-chest, soft elbow. We are opening and closing in a chest fly. Open and close. Wide to narrow. You work from the shoulder and you open with control, with muscular control, holding on to the muscular tension in the outer chest and front of shoulder, and then you use those muscles, outer chest and inner shoulder, to squeeze the dumbbells back together, squeezing your midline of your chest together, as if both sides of the chest squeeze toward the midline at the top of the move. Nice job.
Rest.
Gently down with your dumbbells, and then we make our way round to the beginning of that circuit, which is the press up. So again, it could be on knees, it could be done toward the floor, or you pick a surface such as side of coffee table, side of your sofa, back of your sofa, side of a dining table, side of your kitchen work surface, anything like that. The higher the surface you press up towards, the easier it'll be to maintain a full plank shape. The lower the surface you choose, the harder it'll be. The idea is to work as low as you can get each press up. How low can you get your chest toward the imaginary line between your thumbs? And then zip up or anchor up the abs that are south of your belly button. So zipping up from pubic bone to belly button as you move through your press up shape.
Rest.
Brilliant. And look, do not worry if for you that press up is on the knees still, or maybe you don't have quite the right height of surface to do it against. It is not the end of the world, you're still getting great upper body strength work done. Okay.
Let's go.
Pull over. So we're up against our step with our back. Glutes are working.
overhead, 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 stretching overhead with our weights here. You could be holding one weight in each hand and just sticking the weights together with a bit of friction. You could be holding both hands on one dumbbell.
Halfway there.
We are travelling backward behind the body as far as you can go here, seeking a stretch in the outer edges of your back.
10 seconds.
As you pull forward with your dumbbells, tuck your ribcage down into the front pockets of your body. Stay zipped up in your deep core. Well done.
Rest.
And so just carefully down you go.
And again, just reiterating, that could be done just lying out along the floor. Same with this next exercise. You could be using your side of step, side of coffee table, etc. You could be doing this with your back on the floor. So, we have dumbbells above chest. It's your chest flies, the wide to narrow movement here. Open and close, or wide to narrow. At the wide point of the move, your wrists are wider from the body than your elbows. So I call this having a 3/4 arm. So your arm is not poker straight, it's got a softness to the elbow, it's 3/4 of the way straight. And you open at the shoulder and close at the shoulder, almost like clamping or closing those dumbbells toward each other above the chest. And as you do that, squeeze the pectoral muscles and the inner shoulder toward the midline. Good job.
Rest.
Gently down with your weights, hips to the ground. And we're back to the start, which is the press up of this circuit. Okay, so again, higher surface, such as side of dining table, slightly easier. Lower surface, such as side of coffee table, slightly harder. Obviously, press up on the floor would be harder still. If you can practice your press up on the toes, then fantastic. You'll be gradually building up to doing a full press up on the toes, on the floor eventually. But do not worry if for you actually being on the knees
Halfway there.
helps you achieve greater depth or just feels more appropriate for your body. If you are doing on your knees, no problem, stay zipped up from pubic bone to belly button. So you're still working that deep core, like a plank, but in a half plank shape, that's fine as well. So strong press up as a moving plank, final time. Perfect. Okay, so we flip our way around. Maybe it's your side of sofa, side of coffee table here. Maybe you are lying along the floor with bent knees. Okay, so if you're with me, we just want the head supported on your step shape that you're using. We travel backward overhead with the dumbbells, stretching out the outer edges of your back. And then hold on to the muscular tension in the outer edges of your back. Use those muscles to draw the dumbbells forward. So the pull forward doesn't come from your hands or from your elbow. It comes from the outer edges of your back, just beneath your underarms. Good. We puff out as we pull forward. As you pull forward, tuck the ribcage into the front pockets of the body. Good job, you. Gently down. So another move done, ticked off the list. And we finish our circuit with our chest flies. Wide to narrow. This could be done from laying on the floor with bent knees. This could be done, as I'm demonstrating, with your back against the side of a step, the side of a coffee table, side of a sofa, something like that. So you have your 3/4 arms. They are just soft at the elbow. We open and close with this idea of hold on to the muscular tension in the outer chest and front of shoulder. Slowly does it as you open, squeeze shut with purpose. You don't want to open too far that you feel a strain across the front of shoulder too much. Just a bit of a weighted stretch sensation.
10 seconds.
Core stays zipped in, glutes stay working or squeezing underneath the hips. Squeeze the pectorals toward the midline as the dumbbells squeeze together. Nice job. Gently down from there. And a moment of rest. 2 of our circuits are done, ticked off the list. Don't need to go back there. And we have one final circuit after
Let's go.
this rest period. So this countdown timer on the clock is our rest period.
just a point to shake out the muscles that have been used, shake out the shoulders, shake out the wrists, grab a sip of water. It's a chance for some lactic acid to drain through the muscles, so even if you don't feel really cardiovascularly challenged, if you've been using weights that are challenging for you, there will be some muscle fatigue and some lactic acid build-up, that it's good to have a rest, to get some recovery from that before starting again. Okay. So our final circuit coming up, 3 exercises that we're going to try and do twice through to finish our workout today. Starting standing, 2 dumbbells, 1 in each hand, broad frame of chest and shoulders. Dumbbells are on the outside with palms facing forward, and we are scooping up and to the front. Scooping, almost like we are sweeping our arms through treacle or drying cement, something where there's a bit of resistance to scoop upward against. Think up and forward, and then a little pause at the top, whereby you try to squeeze your pectoral muscles in your chest toward each other, almost like you're trying to lift the pectoral muscles forward of the chest and squeeze them toward the midline. Down with control, but the descent is quite passive. Up and together, wide to narrow. Nearly there. Remember, core secure. Gently down, lovely. We're going to come down for the same setup with our back against our step, with our 90-degree arms like this. And we're going to do a sort of a chest press.
Let's go.
Like so. So wide to narrow, wide to narrow. The arms remain at 90 degrees throughout the move. So we're trying to emulate I think it's called the pec deck or the chest press at the gym, the machine where you'll have your arms against some pads as you do this.
Halfway there.
Okay, we are opening and closing, wide to narrow, keeping our 90-degree elbows. Elbows come toward each other with a squeeze of pectoral muscles toward the midline of the chest. Well done, you. Gently down. Good work. And we're finishing here with a super wide-handed press-up. So again, this could be against your coffee table, could be against a dining table, something higher. And what I want you to do here is wider hands than normal, big spread fingers. The idea of the wider hands than normal is to feel a bit of a stretch across the pectorals, the fronts of the shoulders as you lower down. Again, if need be, you can absolutely bring this onto the knees. It is not the end of the world. We still want to feel zipped up or anchored in the abs, which are south of the belly button. We want to lower as low as you can with these wide elbows, wide hand position, chest toward the invisible line between your thumbs. Face into the space overhead of your hands. Nice job. Okay, so of course these press-ups, super wide press-ups on the end, where our muscles are really stretched out, are harder than the slightly narrower press-ups. Same trio one more time. Standing tall, broad chest, palms to the front on the outside, scooping up and together. So if I should show you this side on. Good. A sort of scoop upward, a bit like sculling through water. Scooping up like you are passing your hands, scooping your hands through water, but actually something that is thicker than water that provides more resistance. Checking in with the abdominals, the idea of zipping up or anchoring in the abs that are south of your belly button.
10 seconds.
And conscious about the idea of pectoral muscles squeezing toward the midline of the chest, sort of elevating and squeezing as you elevate those weights. Nice job, you. Superb. So we've got our wide to narrow chest press coming up, but from down against your step. So 90-degree arms.
Let's go.
And then this, wrap the elbows together, open the elbows wide. Wrap the elbows together, open the elbows wide. Above the chest. Well done. With a real mindful engagement of chest muscles, pectoral muscles toward the midline of your chest. Pec muscles, chest muscles squeeze together, compress together, clench together. Well done. All the while here, support yourself with glute squeeze and anchor in the deep core. And of course, it's one of those ones that if it doesn't work for you, you could be doing this along the floor, laying along the floor, wide to narrow with 90-degree arms. Nearly there. Brilliant. Gently down. And finishing today with our super wide-handed press up. So almost double the width that you'd normally have your hands. Wide, wide, wide.
Let's go.
Big spread fingers, try and spread the load through all your finger pads. Try not to just be in the heel of your hand. Claw at the box or the step that you're using with all of your finger pads, including thumb and forefinger. Keep your plank shape to the best of your ability here. So tailbone tucks under, zip up from pubic bone to belly button. And as you push up, actively scoop up your tummy muscles towards your back as you push your way up. Good job. Control the descent. Trying to feel for a bit of stretch across the spread of pectorals and fronts of shoulders at the base of the move. Nearly there now.
Rest.
And you've done it. Fantastic. Tough work here. Fronts of arms, fronts of shoulders, chest muscles today. You have done all the hard work, you'll be pleased to know. Well done, you. Stick with me for 2 more minutes just to look after the body. You've worked hard on it. Now just giving it a little bit of attention to look after it. And I'm just going to put my step here to the side, lay out the mat. We are lying long here from top to toe. So if you start to lay out long along your back, from top to toe, that is where we're heading. So arms extend long overhead, all the way through to sort of pointy toes, feeling a line of tension of a stretch from top to toe through the body. Fabulous. Nice job. And then from here, scooping up the knees into a little knee to chest hug. We're just adding this stretch in because we did quite a lot in that hip thrust hold shape where the glutes were having to provide support to the back. So we're just stretching out the glutes here as they were active in today's workout. Fabulous. From here, just a roll or push to a comfortable seat. Superb. So this could be cross-legged, legs out front, kneeling. Nice job, you. From here, we're going to wrap the hands behind the back. You can interlace the fingers or you could hold one wrist with one hand. Open the heart to the ceiling. Open the shoulders from the chest. Lift the heart, expand the heart, anything like that that helps you feel like you are expanding and stretching across this chest here. These pectoral muscles and the front of the shoulders. Opening the heart, broadening the chest, peeling the shoulders open from the chest. Nice, and just holding that stretch there. So front of shoulders, top of chest, and down knee, arms here. Getting a bit of a stretch. Superb. You can add a little elevation of the arms behind you, but not at the expense of rounded shoulders. So if pulling the arms up causes you to like hunch your shoulders forward, don't pull your arms up. Just going for where you feel a good old stretch in the front of the chest here. Lovely job. Gently down with the arms, give the shoulders a bit of a shake. We're going to keep the shoulders down from the body, down from the ears toward the body, and take the arm across the body like so. Gently looking back with your neck over the shoulder, you're stretching to feel the stretch. Outer shoulder here, round the back of the shoulder perhaps, and a little bit of down the arm as well. Fabulous. Same on the other side, shoulders down from ears, reach forward, draw the arm across the body, use the other hand almost to compress the arm toward the body, feeling the stretch around the side of shoulder, back of shoulder, down the arm, head looking gently over the shoulder, you're stretching. Fantastic.
And then slowly but surely from here, release the shoulders, release the arms, give everything that last little wriggle through. You have done it. Well done. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hopefully feeling like, yeah, upper body, shoulders, arms, pectorals have all had a good old workout. Please let me know how you got on. Do send me an Instagram direct message. It's great to hear some feedback about how you're doing and being able to give you that positive feedback as well. And join me again soon. Well done. Have a lovely day onwards from here. Bye bye.